Upon a time, in a quiet monastery nestled deep within the mountains, there lived a wise Buddhist master and his disciples. Surrounded by rustling leaves, birdsong, and the whisper of the wind, the monastery was a place of deep meditation and peace, a sanctuary for the soul. One golden evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and bathed the trees in warm amber light, the master and his disciples sat together in the courtyard, enjoying the silence. Then, a young monk gently broke the stillness. "Master," he asked, "you've shared many stories with us, but you've never told us about your own teacher. Who was your master? What did he teach you?" The old monk smiled. His eyes shimmered with memory. "My teacher," he said softly, "I did not have just one. In truth, I've had many. Everyone I've met has taught me something. Life itself has been my greatest master." The disciples leaned in as the master began to share his journey. "In the early days of my spiritual path," he said, "I was proud, too proud, of my knowledge and discipline. One night, while walking through a village, I saw a young boy carrying a candle, heading toward the temple. I wanted to impress him with my wisdom, so I asked, 'Son, when you left your house, the candle was not lit. Tell me, where did the light come from?' The boy looked at me, then gently blew out the flame. 'Now that it's gone,' he asked, 'can you tell me where it went?' I was speechless. In that moment, I saw how much pride I carried in my little knowledge. That child, without trying to teach me anything, had shown me a great truth. Real wisdom doesn't always come from words or complexity. Sometimes it's found in silence, in simplicity. That boy, without knowing it, became one of my first teachers. He reminded me, true learning begins when ego ends." The disciples sat quietly, absorbing the lesson. Months later, the master continued, "I was walking from one village to another. Along the way, I saw a dog beside a pond. He was thirsty and tried to drink, but each time he leaned in, he saw his reflection and thought it was another dog. He barked and stepped back. Again and again he tried, but fear held him back. Finally, he paused, took a step back, and with courage, leapt into the water. He drank, wagged his tail, and walked away, content. That dog taught me that fear is nothing more than a reflection of our own mind. If we confront it, we overcome it. That dog, too, became my master." The young monk smiled, surprised by how deeply simple creatures could teach profound lessons. The master continued, "And then came my third teacher, a thief. One night, I arrived late in the village. It was dark, and I didn't know anyone. As I searched for shelter, I saw a man trying to break into a house. I approached him and asked, 'Brother, do you know where I might find the temple? I'm a traveler and need a place to rest.' He laughed and said, 'I'm not a mason, I'm a thief. I'm trying to break into this house. But you look tired. Come stay at my place.' I hesitated, but accepted. He was honest, misguided, yes, but sincere. That night, and many nights after, I stayed at his home. Every evening, before he went out to steal, he would pray. And every time he returned empty-handed, he'd smile and say, 'Tonight wasn't my night, but tomorrow I will succeed.' What surprised me most was his persistence, not in stealing, but in his faith and determination. He never gave up. Ironically, he only targeted the rich, those who had gained their wealth through corruption or deception. And though I could not agree with his path, I respected his commitment. He taught me the value of resilience, of never losing hope, even when things don't go your way. The master's voice softened as he continued. One day, the thief finally succeeded. He returned home with stolen goods and a look of satisfaction on his face. As strange as it may seem, I learned something from him that night too. He looked at his disciples. He taught me that even if you fail 100 times, you must never lose hope. Your persistence may one day lead you to success. But I couldn't ignore the path he had taken. I gently suggested he use that same determination, but walk a better path, a right path. Surprisingly, he listened. Over time, he gave up stealing. He started a small, honest business of his own. And from that moment on, he began walking toward the light. That thief, too, became one of my teachers. The master paused, letting the words settle. Then, With calm eyes and a voice full of warmth, he said, "So there you have it. 3 of my many masters. A child, a dog, a thief. Each of them taught me lessons no book or scripture ever could. Life, my dear students, teaches us in the most unexpected ways. You just need eyes to see and a heart willing to understand." The young monk sat in silent awe, reflecting deeply. The master smiled gently and concluded, "Always remember, life is the greatest master of all. If you stay open, keep learning, and reflect with honesty, life will guide you toward wisdom beyond words. Not all lessons come from monks or scholars. Sometimes they come from a stranger, a moment, even someone society looks down upon. A child's question, an animal's instinct, a thief's persistence. These are not accidents. These are teachings in disguise." He looked into their eyes. You see, real growth doesn't always come from what someone tells you. It comes from what you live through. A mistake, a heartbreak, a failure. These experiences shape you more than any advice ever could. You might forget what someone said, but you will never forget what life made you feel. A heartbreak teaches trust. A business loss teaches responsibility. A hard time reveals true friends. But to learn from it, you must remain open. If you think you already know, you block the lesson. Pride stops growth. Ego slams the door shut. But if you stay humble and curious, every moment becomes a classroom. Every person becomes a teacher. Every experience becomes a stepping stone. Those who learn from life rarely make the same mistake twice. They may stumble once, but that fall becomes their strength. Those who refuse to learn keep walking in circles, repeating the same patterns. In relationships, in business, in every part of life. Even Siddhartha, before he became the Buddha, had to experience life. It was his journey through joy, pain, loss, and reflection that led him to enlightenment. So let life teach you. Let every joy be a gift. Let every failure be a lesson. Let every moment shape you. Because those who keep learning, keep growing. And those who keep growing will always keep rising.